I am Satan the 17th, and this is part 2 of the Schmired autocomplete interview. They have seen part 1, right? I don't have to, re-explain my entire deal all over again. Alright, fresh batch of questions. Number 1 up here, how does the devil deceive people? I'm usually just like, hey, look over there, and then I run. Or tried and true method is just turning it around on them, If they say, hey, why'd you do that? You can be like, no, why'd you do that? Stuff like that. Okay, next, how the devil attacks people. I guess I usually go for the legs, but I'm less than 3 feet tall, so that's kind of my only option. Okay, next, how satanic is Halloween? Oh, you mean that day when kids dress up like Buzz Lightyear and go begging for mini Tootsie Rolls? Yeah, not that satanic. No. Most demons think Halloween is just kinda tacky. And even when you humans try to make it demonic, it's just embarrassing. Because this resembles an actual demon about as much as this resembles the actual Donald Trump. Why did God create Satan? Well, basically, he invented this place called hell and needed some chump to run the dump. Now, what you gotta realize is that Satan isn't a name, it's a title. It's like Pope or King or Assistant Regional Manager.
Assistant to the Regional Manager.
My name's Satan the 17th because I'm the 17th guy to hold the job. Oh, wait, this one's related. Why did Lucifer become Satan? Lucifer was Satan the first, the very first Satan. For what I heard, he basically just kind of drew the short straw. Lucifer came to work late one day, and all the other angels were like, hey, guess what? We had a meeting, and you got a new job. From that day onward, he regretted stopping for coffee. Okay, this next one, why did Jesus call Peter Satan? I think I'm referencing that part in Mark 8, where Jesus says, get behind me, Satan, to Peter. I think that's just when bros are talking crap to each other. When they're like, no shit, Sherlock, or a smart move, Einstein. Peter was being kind of a dick, and Jesus was just like, oh, whatever, Satan, Okay, and this last one in this section here, why did the devil go down to Georgia? You do know that's just a song, right? Charlie Parker made that up. It's not biblically canonical or anything. But when I do go down to Georgia, it's usually for the pie. I like a good pecan pie. Has the devil ever killed anyone? Not yet. Has the devil ever been to hell? What kind of stupid question is that? Yeah, it's where I live. That's like asking Bruce Springsteen if he's ever been to New Jersey. Has the devil ever been cast out of heaven? Oh, okay, once. I was at the Christmas party, aka Jesus' birthday party, a couple years back. I had too much to drink, and I acted out, and I was asked to leave. But it wasn't a big deal. I apologize, and it's all cool now. Has Satan seen God? Well, it matters what you mean by seen, because, when you're God's presence, you can't look at him directly. He's so bright, he'll just fry your eyeballs. So you gotta, look over in the corner. So if you're asking me, what God's face looks like, I couldn't tell you, because, for all I know, he doesn't even have a face. He's just pure light. Has Satan ever been defeated? At what? Basketball? Stratego? Halo? Be specific! Has Satan ever lied? No! Has Satan ever created anything? Well, I create these YouTube videos. Does that count? Well, I have had my hobbies. I used to dabble in painting a bit. Mostly watercolors. And you do some things for fun once in a while. Yeah, sure, I've created things. Has the devil ever possessed anyone? And again, all this thing about demons possessing humans, that's all BS. That's all made-up movie stuff, okay? Because demons can't possess conscious humans, because humans have this thing called a will, which can resist possession. So you might say, maybe you could possess, someone in a coma, use them as a meat puppet. I guess technically, but dude, possessing biological bodies, it's gross. It's people are all sticky and moist on the inside. It's smelly. No. I prefer my puppet body. Thank you very much. Okay, next round. This is starting to get serious. Why does God allow the devil to exist? Because the devil has a job to do and God wants him to do it? Look Look, if you want to believe in both a god and a devil, there's only two ways you can logically rationalize their coexistence. Either God is not all-powerful and lacks the ability to stop some little asshole going around constantly undermining his whole system, or God is all-powerful and Satan exists because God wants him to exist, because he is actually doing God's will. In other words, Satan works for God. So that's basically your only two choices. Either God is not all-powerful and cannot stop Satan, or he is all-powerful and Satan is basically God's employee. Of course, there always is the third option. Oh, don't look at that one! Next here, why does 666 mean the devil? Well, it doesn't. The reference to 666 in the book of Revelations was actually a reference to the Roman Emperor Nero. Because during the time when Revelation was written, there was kind of a mass conspiracy theory that Nero wasn't actually dead, but would return to reconquer the entire world. And how do we know this? Well, in the Roman alphabet, each letter is associated with a number. And when you add up all the letters in Nero's full name, it adds up to 666. So that 666 in Revelations was actually kind of an inside wink wink nudge nudge to all the fellow conspiracy theorists. Okay, next up, why does the devil carry a pitchfork? Okay, that was one guy, okay? That was Satan the 14th, who was like my great-grandfather. He carried a pitchfork around because I guess he thought he looked cool, and he got a lot of portraits made with him holding it. So ever since, everyone thinks the devil carries a pitchfork, okay? That's like how everyone thinks all vampires sleep in coffins just because Dracula did it. No, Dracula was just a famous weirdo. He was like the Michael Jackson of vampires. Not all vampires sleep in coffins, and not all devils carry pitchforks. Okay, this next one. Oh, it's the same thing. Why does Satan have a goat head? Okay, again, that was one guy. I believe it was like Satan the Ninth. See, like each generation of demons kind of like looks different. And during that generation, they all had like animal heads. And that Satan just happened to have a goat head. But like ever since, everyone now thinks, oh, the devil must like goats. So ever since, hell has just been lousy with goat sacrifices. Hey, stop sending me goats. Alright, last batch of questions. Oh, we're getting to the real BS here. Why does Satan hate humanity? I don't. Yeah, sure, there are a few people who piss me off, but I'm largely indifferent to you meatbags. But you know what people I love? Those who click the subscribe button. So why don't you do that right now to get off my shit list? Why does Satan want souls? I don't. Do you have any idea how crowded hell is? Dude, if I could shut the doors and not accept another soul ever again, I'd do it. Hell, if I could release half the souls I have now, I'd do it. I mean, sure, I guess there have been some Satans in the past who wanted to, like, boost their numbers to make themselves look more important, but, that just ended up screwing me over in the long run. And finally, why does the devil want us to sin? I don't. I don't care what you do. In fact, I'd rather you be good and get into heaven so I never have to deal with you. Look, if you do something wrong, that's on you. I mean, you screwed up, you gave in to your own weaknesses. People need to start taking responsibility for their own lives and accountability for their own actions and stop trying to blame things on some cartoon goblin. It's called having a personal moral code. Ooh, we got some channel viewer questions. That's exciting.
Contraball 2000 asks,
why is the devil red? Well, actually, demons come in all the colors of the rainbow. There's blue demons, there's purple demons. My brother's like a greenish yellow, but red is considered to be an auspicious color for a demon. Like, when a demonling hatches as red, they know it's going to be like a big deal. That's how they knew I was going to be the next Satan. I was bright red. But like they don't always stay that way. Like my father was born red and then became like so dark, no light could escape his skin, which was pretty cool actually. Let's see, Smapd says, can you recommend any new good rock bands? Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I'm actually not on the cutting edge of rock music as you'd assume the devil would be. Though the other day, I did discover a new band that has kind of like a psychotic librarian vibe. So I think I'll keep an eye on them. thank you for watching. Please do me a favor and click the like button to share this video with more people across YouTube. If you have any more questions about me, about being the devil, about hell, leave them down in the comments and I might answer them in a future video. So for me and everyone at Schmired, I'll see you in hell. So is that it? We're finished? Okay, good, because I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm starting to sound just like a normal guy, just making a scratchy voice, which is... What's that? right.